Hey friends, my name is Melinda and this is day 4 of Bible school. Miss Pam told you on day 3 about Jesus in the garden, Jesus praying and being with his friends. And then Jesus was arrested in the garden because he had been telling a lot of people about God and he'd been healing people and feeding people. And for some reason this made the guys that were in power really angry. And they didn't want him to be more powerful than they were. So they had him killed on a cross. They hung him on a cross, sort of like this. And that was on a Friday. And he died, and he was put in a little cave. They called it a tomb. And that's where they put people that had died. And they rolled a giant stone in front of the cave so that nobody could get in. So that was Friday night. Saturday went by, and Sunday morning there were some ladies that came to the tomb, and they had these wonderful, good-smelling spices that they were going to put on the cloths that they had wrapped Jesus' body in. But as they were going there, they said, "How are we going to get that big stone out of the way? It's so heavy." But when they got there, the stone was rolled to the side. The guards that were guarding the tomb were lying on the ground. They had fainted, and there was an angel standing there. And he said, "What are you doing here? Jesus isn't here. He's raised from the dead. He's alive again. Look for yourself." So they leaned in and looked in the little cave in the tomb, and they saw the place where Jesus had been, but just the cloths that he had been wrapped in. His body wasn't there. He wasn't there anymore. And the angel said, "Go tell your friends." And so the ladies were confused and kind of upset. And Mary was one of the ladies. It wasn't Jesus' mother Mary, it was a different Mary. And she was crying, and there was a man in the garden, and he said, "What's wrong? What are you crying about?" And she said, "They've taken my Lord, and I don't know where they've put him." And then he said, "Mary," and she knew who it was. When he said her name, she knew it was Jesus. And she was so excited, and he said, "Go tell my friends. Go tell my friends I'm alive." So she and the other ladies ran back to where all of Jesus' disciples and friends were. And she said, "Jesus is alive. I've just seen him." Well, there was this one friend named Peter and another one named John, and they wanted to go see for themselves. So they ran. John ran faster, and he got there first, and he looked in, and then Peter got there, and he looked in the tomb, and they saw the same thing that Mary had seen. They saw the place where Jesus had laid, but he wasn't there anymore. And they were confused too, because they had seen Jesus die, and they were a little bit afraid. So they went back to be with their other friends, and they actually locked the door because they thought, if these men would come and kill Jesus, maybe they would kill us too. So they were locked in the door, in this room. The door was locked, and suddenly Jesus just appeared. He didn't walk through the door was locked. He just appeared in the room with them. And of course they were terrified, but he said, "No, it's me. Look at my hands. Do you see the nail prints? Look at my side where the sword was. It's me. It's okay." And he spent over a month being with his friends and walking around and talking to people and feeding people and fishing and just being alive on the earth again for a little while. And as he was getting ready to go back to heaven, he talked to his friends and he said, "I want you to teach other people and baptize them. And I'm going to be with you always to the ends of the earth, and I'll always love you." And those are the promises that Jesus made, the promises that are in the Bible, that Jesus would always be with us, that he would love us, and that someday he would come back. We thank you so much for watching these stories, and we love you.
Hello, Julie.
Hello, Kristen. I didn't know we had an inspection today.
No, we don't. I just came by to see how VBS was doing. What have you been learning?
Well, you were right. We are learning a lot about foundations. So far, we have studied the foundation of love, the foundation of forgiveness, and the foundation of worth. Tonight is going to be about the foundation of promise. I'm not sure what that will be about. Something about Matthew chapter 28.
Oh, that's a very exciting story.
How do you know what story I'm talking about?
Well, Thule, like you, I appreciate a good tool. In fact, I think the Bible is one of the best tools around. Spending time reading the Bible and studying it at church. In fact, I think it's so useful that sometimes I memorize some of the verses in my head. That way, I can still have some parts of the Bible with me, even when I don't have the Bible in my hands.
You mean you don't have to have the Bible in your tool belt in order to use it?
That's right. I can carry some of the Bible in my head instead of just in my tool belt. Here's an example. I love Matthew 28:6, which says, "He is not here. He is risen, just as he said."
That sounds mysterious. Were they playing hide and seek or something?
No, some women had gone to Jesus' gravesite. An angel met them there and told them that Jesus was not there and that he had risen, which means he came back to life.
Whoa.
But my favorite part is when the angel reminds them that Jesus had told them what would happen. He is risen, just as he said.
Come on, Kristen. Angels? A resurrected body that was dead and then alive, but just as he said is your favorite part? I don't get it.
Earlier, Jesus had told his disciples that he would die and come back to life, and later that is exactly what happens. It means that I can trust other promises that Jesus made too.
What other promises?
Well, in Matthew 28:20, Jesus says, "I am with you always."
Always?
Yes, always. I can count on Jesus to keep his promises. When I believe that Jesus is always with me, I can get through any situation because I am not alone. In fact, Thule, I've built my life around Jesus and his promises. It affects everything I do.
When I feel afraid like walls are gonna cave around me, I think about the way your love and grace and peace